Welcome to Wildnote. I'm Chris Webster, and we are going to discuss the details of the Review and Edit window. To access this menu, click on the Go To menu in the upper right-hand corner of the card for any project that you want to review and edit data for. Let's talk about the calling headings that you are allowed to sort by and what they mean. Starting on the left, the survey form ID is the unique number generated by the Wildnote system and cannot be altered. By default, the list of survey forms in the Review and Edit window sorts by this ID, with the most recent at the top. The next column is the name of the survey form, which is self-explanatory. The column after that is the survey date. This question is automatically inserted into every survey form and is typically the date that survey form data were collected. However, the date can be changed. Next is the user column, which is associated to the user login name and is typically, but not always, the name of the person who collected the data. If you are harnessing the power of project locations, you will find the associated locations, or whatever you change that label to, listed in the next column. Then comes the created date, which is the first time a completed survey form is synced to the Wildnote Cloud platform. The final sort column is the updated date, which reflects any time a survey form is opened and resaved. So on any of these columns, you can click. You can see I have survey date selected right here and a little arrow. That means it is sorting by date descending with the down arrow. So the most recent surveys are here and the farthest back surveys are here. If I want to sort by, say, survey form ID, which as we said is the default, then you will see that it is now sorting by ascending survey form ID. We give all of our Wildnote survey form library forms a number, and it might be helpful to sort by that number. Of course, if you are using locations, and in this case we call it sites because that's the label given during the project setup phase, I can sort by sites and see all of the sites collected right here, and then I will know which forms are associated with which site or location or whatever you happen to call it. The next column is the review column. By clicking review, you display a completed survey form for quality checking. If you wish to edit or delete a survey form in this view here, then either click the edit pencil or the trash icon from the list of completed survey forms. Let's click on review and see what we can see here. So now I can review this survey form. If I would like to edit it in this view, I can click edit right here, and I can click delete over here. So those are the same functions as on the previous screen. I can also duplicate the survey form here. If I click duplicate, it's going to ask me if I want to make sure I want to duplicate it. Then I go here. Now this is going to give me another survey form with identical data. This is same to duplicating in the field on mobile. If you have a lot of repeated data on a form that you just need to change a few things on archaeological sites, for example, a lot of the locational environmental data are the same for sites that are near each other, then I would duplicate the form and then go ahead, change the pertinent information, and then save it down at the bottom. So one other button here back on the data review screen, you can see the export button is right here. It's also up under manage data, and we're going to go over that later, but up here you can click export, and now I can see export to PDF, I can see preview report, I can choose which one, but this is going to give me the form just for this. Now if I hit export to PDF, now you can see that it's in exported reports, and I can see that. The final button on this screen is the View Survey Template. I can see the underlying survey template, and it's going to give me a warning box because there is a specific export for this one, so I can't actually change anything on this particular survey template. However, if it was unlocked and didn't have a specific export, you would be able to modify questions and move things around and add new questions at will. However, it would have a warning up here in this particular case because there is data collected against that. Check out our videos on creating and modifying survey forms for more information. Finally, the last button on the Review and Edit screen here is the Export drop-down menu. So I can quickly export to one of the 5 standard formats that we have. Now, some of these forms, like this one that you see here, the NV01 Nevada IMAX site form, has a specific export, but that's not listed right here. So I wouldn't be able to use this for this particular form, but for any form that you create on your own or that you modify from our survey library that doesn't have a specific export, you can quickly do an export to one of these formats right here, and that's pretty handy. We'll go into the export details when we discuss the export window. Check the video library for other in-depth videos and for information on anything related to using Wildnote. Thanks.